Welcome to Calming Anxiety. Hi there. This is me and my weekend newsletter. So, hi everyone. I'm just going to do my weekly check to make sure that I am actually live. And as always, one day I will work out how to do this properly. So, hi. It's almost 6 o'clock UK time in the evening. The days are getting longer. I'm looking out the window at beautiful blue skies with wonderful it's coming up to evening, so there are a few fluffy white and grey clouds. Excuse me whilst I move this. Or do I go over to this mic? I'm just going to see how that sounds later on. Bit echoey. Back to this one. And then I'll put this out on the podcast as well. And if you want the newsletter, somewhere in the show notes, there's going to be a link so that you can get it. My week's worth of mindfulness. My weekly moment of reflection. And this week, it's about, I've called it Reframe Your World, from foggy to bright with meditation and mindfulness. And it came about this time. I was talking to a friend who had been away for 5 days, and I asked them, how was it? And their first comment was just one of negativity. It was about 1 hour whilst they were waiting to get on their plane. So I was like, whoa, stop. You went for 5 days. That's 120 hours. And the main take is this 1 hour of negativity. How about telling me about the other 119? And it is. We all do it. We all have that moment where I think it's a natural human response. It's based on our old sort of mindset and physiology to protect us from danger. So we focus on that, so we learn our lessons. But we don't need that now. And you don't need that. And so this week it's about changing it. It really is. It's when you get into mindfulness, when you get into regular meditation, and not in some kind of woo-woo way. You don't have to sit cross-legged. You don't have to hold your hands like this. You don't have to wear yoga pants. You can just do it wherever you are. To be mindful, to appreciate where you are, no matter what crap is going on in your world. You can all be more mindful and more positive and happier and more productive and more caring. I'll get on with it. So, blah, blah, blah. Welcome back. I'm very happy this week, so thank you. Welcome back to Calming Anxiety. This week, we delve into the transformative power of reframing negative thoughts and beliefs. Our inner voice can be a harsh critic, casting a shadow over even the sunniest of days. But what if we could learn to see the world through a more positive lens? What if we could train our minds to not just identify negativity, but also to recognize the good that often hides in plain sight? Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools for cultivating this kind of mental agility. By becoming more aware of our thought patterns, we can interrupt the cycle of negativity and choose a more empowering perspective. Yes, we can. Seeing beyond the fog. Imagine walking through a foggy forest. The path ahead is obscured, and the beauty of the surrounding trees is lost in the mist. This is how negativity can cloud our perception. We get fixated on the negative triggers, overlooking or dismissing. Hang on, I shouldn't have looked then. Overlooking or dismissing the positive aspects of a situation. The key to reframing lies in acknowledging the fog, the negative thought itself, without getting lost in it. Mindfulness practices like meditation help us become aware of our thoughts without judgment. We can observe them like passing clouds, like those ones. I'll get the camera out there. And choosing not to get swept away by the negativity. Finding the sunshine, 2 positive points of view. Once we've acknowledged the negative thought, the next step is to actively seek out alternative perspectives. Here's where the magic happens. Can you identify at least 2 positive ways to view the situation? Here are some examples. Situation: you didn't get the job you interviewed for. Negative thought: I'm a failure, I'll never get a job. Positive reframe: the job wasn't a right fit for me now. I have more time to focus on my dream career path. Changing pages. Don't hold paper in front of camera. Positive reframe number 2. The interview process gave me valuable experience that will help me shine in future opportunities. Now, I'm going to digress from the newsletter here. When many, many years ago, over 20, when I applied to become a paramedic, I signed up at a recruitment agency before my final interview to get the position. And I went on, I think it was 7 interviews for random jobs, purely to understand the interview process. And when I finally was interviewed for the ambulance service, I mentioned that. They said, what have you done to prepare yourself for today? And I said, apart from all the other bits that I'd done to train to pass the selection process, that I'd been for all these interviews, so that I would hopefully answer all of their questions successfully and to the point. I got the job. Right. Situation: you have a fallout with a friend or a fight. Negative thought: we're never going to speak again. I must have done something terrible. Positive reframe number 1. This is a chance to deepen our friendship by communicating openly and honestly. Positive reframe number 2. This disagreement doesn't define our entire friendship. We can work through it. And that's where real friendship stems from. Having disagreements, but seeing the bond that ties you and working towards it. By consciously searching for these alternative perspectives, we shift our focus from the negative to the possibilities for growth and learning. So 3 daily tips for reframing your world. Writing, journaling. Write down your negative thoughts and then challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Are there alternative ways to view this situation? 2. The gratitude game. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. These simple practices train your brain to focus on the positive aspects of your life. And this is a great one to do when you wake in the morning. Just set your alarm 5 minutes earlier than normal, and maybe set another alarm. Wake up, focus on your breathing, connecting with all that you are, the feelings in every part of your body, and then imagine those 3 things you're grateful for. And truly, they do not have to be big. They could simply be the roof over your head, a new toothbrush. It's simple. Find them. And 3, the what if challenge. When faced with a negative thought, ask yourself, what if the opposite is true? explore this positive possibility and see where it leads you. And I had this with a friend in the gym today. They do MMA, and they've got a fight coming up later in the year with an opponent with a very impressive track record, unbeaten. And a friend in the gym was going on about how amazing they are, all their positives, their reach advantage, their height advantage. And I went, whoa, stop. What are their negatives? What are your positives? What are their negatives? Because to win this fight, I feel she has to overcome her negative bias. I didn't want to mention gender. They've already talked themselves in that way out of winning. They're viewing the other person as a champion. Every champion wins and then will lose, will then fail. It's all part of life cycle. And you may be that person that then succeeds. Remember, reframing is a skill that takes practice. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. As you develop this mindset, you'll find your outlook shifting and the fog of negativity will begin to clear, revealing the sunshine that was there all along. And as luck would have it, as I said that line, for those who are watching on YouTube and not listening on the podcast, the sun broke through the clouds and it's a golden yellow shining through the occasional grey, blue, soft, pastel-like flowing cloud. It's times like this I need to put the drone up and photograph them. So stay tuned. Come back next week and have a positive week. All of our thoughts, they're our own. I used to be a very angry, reactionary person. And everyone who meets me now who used to know the old me are, quite frankly, amazed at how I've changed. And I've changed, through owning up to who I was, but through daily meditation. Just what I do on the podcast. For those that are new to the channel, if you're going to stumble upon this one because the sub count has gone up, so thank you everyone who's come in. All the daily shows will be coming back live in April. They will match the ones on the Spotify podcast with properly presented YouTube videos. Obviously, they stopped at the beginning of the year. I had a massive IT issue. Do apologise about that. And then Google Podcasts are ending. So I was just putting those up, but they look awful. I think YouTube and Google have missed out there. Ridiculous. But we will find a positive. I will work harder. I will produce more content. At least once a month there'll be a new book. If there's a book that's out of copyright that you would like Calming Anxiety to produce and upload, let me know. Leave it in the comments below or write to me. Email address, as always, in show notes, or just, if you can remember, calminganxiety@martinhewlett.co.uk. Other than that, I need to get to work and record more content. Have a lovely time, everyone. Take care. Smile in the mirror. Positive reframing. Try it this coming week. As soon as you have a negative thought, stop and try and think of 2 positives that change the situation, however small or inconsequential. Think of 2 positives. And as always, in everything you do, everything you think and you say, simply be kind